But when you don't feel like things are being done for the right reasons and they're just doing it to try to hurt me back, let's be real. Like, they hate our podcast. They're probably our number one fans. I mean, I hear about it all the time, girl. I'm serious. He's probably just telling her, oh, this is going to be whatever. But that's what he did for 20 years. Every time he got caught doing something terrible, whether it's cheating or porn or gambling or losing money or lying or something detrimental, he always would wait for me to react, whip out his phone, record me, and then try to make me out to be like I'm the toxic or I'm the crazy person.
Welcome back to the Got Her Back podcast.
What?
What's up, Chica?
I feel like I haven't seen you in a million years.
It's freaking getting dark early.
And I feel like I haven't talked to you in a million years.
I know. What the heck? Where have you been?
No, where have you been? I feel
I've
like
been
you're
here.
like under a rock.
I've just been working.
No.
Girl, you've been broken bowing and in La La Love Land. You know it. You know it.
What's
Got Her Back Monday.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today, Maggie? Well, one of the last conversations that we had, can I just say the conversation? So one of the last conversations that we had, I was on my way home from work and you called me and let me know that you had a kind of a rough night the night before and you didn't call me.
You probably didn't want me to call you because I was hysterical. Like hysterical. I think it's the first, like when you go through a divorce, it's all the things that are like new and uncharted territory that you got to go through. And when it just like hits you in the face and you're not ready for it, it can be so hurtful.
Yeah. And I mean, just to preface what we're talking about, y'all have a set time. You and your ex-husband have a set time when you don't have your daughter or when he does, so that y'all can communicate with her from you have like a 15-minute window to contact her and FaceTime her, basically. Since she's so little, she doesn't have her own device. And so that was just the way that you guys can make sure you can check in with her if you want to that day. It's an option. Right? And so she wasn't with you. You were checking in with her at her dad's house. And tell me if I'm wrong or anything. So you asked her if she wanted you to come see her at Gymnastics.
Yes, because she's been going like on her dad's night. So I do 50-50. So like Monday, Tuesdays are his days every week and Wednesday, Thursdays are mine. And then we flip flop every weekend.
So every week that she has gymnastics, she's with him pretty much.
Right. It's on Mondays.
Yeah. So you can still go. That's something I hadn't really ever thought about. I guess you can go if it's like an event or a public thing or whatever.
Yeah,
like
if
guys
they're in an
can pop
activity.
in and see her and all that. So you decided you wanted to go watch that, and you told her, hey, do you want me to come watch you tomorrow?
Well, she'd been going for a while, and I didn't support it because when she was going there when she was little, she would get sick at that gym like a ton. And it just became an issue to where she was constantly not being able to go to school because she kept getting sick. And so I think maybe hopefully that's passed because she seems to be getting a little bit better. But every time she went there, she got a fever or a runny nose. And I'm like, I don't condone this. Like, I'm not going to deal with a sick kid all the time from her to go into that gym. And so it's went a little smoother. I kind of fought it at first, but then to come to find out she's really just going because the stepsister or whatever is going there.
So they can go together.
Yeah. So they enrolled them both, whatever. Right. So it's like a family affair. So I just kind of avoided it like the plague, like, hey, that's y'all's thing. Y'all do it. Well, then Spencer just kept asking me, when are you going to go to my gymnastics? When are you going to come? And so
He wanted you there.
Right. And so Devin and I show up one night. I've only been twice. And the first time I went, she lit up like a Christmas tree. She got so excited. She ran on her break, came over, gave me a big hug, was so happy. She was waving to me the whole time, doing little cartwheels and flips. It was the cutest thing ever. Then
Is she loving it?
She's so good at it. Just like, she's doing cartwheels or whatever.
At that age, though, they just... Yeah.
I know it's not going to be a long-term thing because she's built just like me. She's going to be tall and skinny.
Hey, it might be a long-term thing because look at Maddie. Maddie isn't like a gymnast like type, but she loves
cheer.
it.
Yeah.
She tumbles. She loves the gymnastics.
It's not like she can be a gymnast. She's going to be too tall for that.
Hey, she could be whatever she wants to be, baby.
She's not Mary Lou Retton.
She can be.
Yeah.
She can be whatever she wants to be.
So I go a couple times, and the first time she acted so excited, but then when I walked her back over to her dad, she acted like super timid and didn't even want to, like, almost acted like she froze, like she didn't know who I was. So the second time I go, she doesn't come and see me at all. I have to go and approach her, and she almost acted like she didn't know me because she was in front of the dad and his significant other. And so I just asked her one day. I was like, this was before that phone call. I said, you know what? Why is it that you're acting so funny, like you don't know me and that you don't want to talk to me at gymnastics? And she said, I'm scared. And I said, why are you scared? She's like, I'm afraid daddy's going to get mad at me, which crushed me, right? So then I go and talk to him, and I'm like, look, like, this is what she's saying. Like, clearly it's because we have a volatile relationship.
She doesn't feel comfortable
Right.
with y'all both in the same room.
That's
probably.
right. She's seen you act a fool towards me, and she's associating that, and she doesn't want you mad at her. And that's not okay, because there should never be a time or a place where my daughter is scared to talk to me because of how you're going to treat her or react, or clearly probably what you guys have been saying, you know, behind closed doors. So, you know, they don't go like for a week or whatever. And then I get a message, hey, no gymnastics. And he said she was sick. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, well, we're going out of town this week. And this was a few weeks back or whatever. And when I called her on my call, she did not act sick. And so I was like, do you feel bad? And she was like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad you're feeling better. Good to know. I let it go. She comes back home, and then we're just having like a random conversation at dinner. And I said something about her being sick last week. And she was like, no, I wasn't sick. P broke her toe, and we had to take her to the emergency room. And that's why I missed gymnastics. And so I'm just like, why fib? Like, why lie? Like, just say what it is. We don't want to go tonight. Whatever. It's your thing, right? Like, I'm glad you let me know she wasn't going to go, but I don't even need to know a response, right? So I'm talking to her, fast forward.
Maybe
and
you could just say, like, we're not going to.
yeah, like, we're not going. I don't need a reason why you're not going, but don't lie and tell me my kid's sick. Like, that's crossing the line for me. Like, I get that whatever your reasonings are, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, if you just don't feel like going, cool. Sounds good. But if it's ever a time where she wants to go and you're not available, like, I made it known, like, hey, I can take her. I can take her for you. Not a big deal, right? So it was that same week I was like asking her, because it was last week, and I was like, hey, you know, do you want me to, it was
We're
his
back
weekend.
to the phone call.
Right, back to the phone call. Sorry. That was a lot, but
So we're back to the phone call, and you asked her.
it was the night before gymnastics. So it was a Sunday
like, hey,
night.
do you want me to see you at gymnastics tomorrow?
Yeah. And she's like, I don't even know when gymnastics is. And I'm like, well, it's tomorrow, baby.
Yeah.
You know, like, 5-year-olds, they have zero concept of time. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
I wish I was
I know.
5-year-old.
Me
That'd be
too.
awesome.
I know, right? So she says, no, I don't need you. She says her name and just says, you know, Miss L takes me. And so I said, well, she's not your mom. So I'm going to go to gymnastics. And she goes, well, she is my mom. I said, no, she's not.
So that's just a little, like a gut punch.
Yeah.
But
yes.
she's only 5. And so,
I mean,
it's
but
probably hard not to take it
she goes,
personally.
well, I mean, she didn't know any better, but
Yeah, of
you could tell
course.
it's not coming from her. It's coming from the people around her. And she's being fed that, because how is she going to know about a stepmom, or how is she going to know about, oh, well, my daddy's getting married, and, you know, and she's going to be my stepmom. And so it hurt me, right? It hurt me. And so I say something, because in my household, like, whenever my boyfriend's daughter, you know, has called me mom or whatever, joins in the fun, you know, when Spencer's calling mom, sometimes they back and forth, you know, and she'll be like, and she'll tell Spencer, this is my mom. And then she'll be like, no, that's my mom, you know? And so I just,
It's just that age,
you know,
they
like,
want
right,
to be part of it.
right. And so I just, but I always correct her, and I say, hey, I'm Miss Megan, you know, you have a mom. I'm not trying to replace your mom, which is the same thing I did with DJ. I set DJ down DJ was 6 years old when he came into my life. He was probably 8-ish. I didn't do it at 6, but probably at 8-ish, I sat him down and I said, hey, you have a mom. And I want you to know you don't ever have to call me mom. You have a mom. You know, I can just be Megan. I can just be a go-to person for you, but I'm going to love you like my own child. So you need to know that. And so, like, I get it, especially being raised by a stepdad, but I also had no other mother or father figure in my life. Like, I was raised by my stepdad because my parents died at such a young age, and I called him dad. I've always referred to him as my dad.
How old you were when you started calling him dad?
Probably
or if
from
you
little.
just did it on your own?
Probably, I don't remember, but he was always dad because he raised me since I was 2. He was the only dad I'd ever known. So that when you have nobody else in the picture, like, whatever, like, you know, me and my sister always, even till the day he died, called him dad.
How old were you whenever your mom got married to your
2.
stepdad? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So dad died at 2. 6 months later, she married. You know, back then you didn't even like date that long and you got married. You know what I mean? Like a few months. So 2. My sister was 6 and I was 2. So yeah. So I get it. Like, and it just was caught me off guard, right? And I just don't, and I don't allow that in my household. Like, even though I have a very volatile relationship with my ex, and it's not good. Most days it's not good. I mean, it's only good when we don't talk, you know? And so, it's not good. And so I don't know how else to put it.
Not good.
It is not. And so, and I don't really think everybody keeps saying, oh, give it time. I'm like, it's been 2 years. It's actually, if you think about it, it's been 21 years. I've been waiting 21 years for him to make changes, on communication and that kind of stuff. And it's not going to change. Like, I would love to sit here and tell you, yeah, give it some time. It's going to change.
No contact, Meg.
I know.
No
It's hard when
contact.
you have a little one. It's a little different. Yours is just not in the picture. So like, and you don't have his phone number. So
Yeah. Don't have that. And that.
yeah. But I mean, on my side, mine's smaller. So, I mean, it's harder when, you know, you've got to coordinate certain things. Now, it's not a lot because she's not in sports or she's not in dance, not yet. Right. And so, it's really just like, okay, you got the green t-shirt that she needs for whatever. But it was a gut punch. I mean, it was a gut punch. I cried for probably 2 hours that night. Like, I just lost it because it hurt my feelings.
Like, I wonder what was the most hurtful thing. Like, did your mind go to like, oh my gosh, like
I think probably things when it comes to that, and I've talked about it in like third party coordinating, is like, if I felt like that other side, so like, I don't have a co-parenting relationship with the other side at all. Never even met her.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not sure that I want to anymore. Like, at first I thought I did. And now I'm just like, if I haven't met you at this point, there's no need for us to ever meet because you're not ever going to be invited to anything that I have. And so, like, if you can't make effort and if you want things to stop or be cordial or whatever, I'm the mom. You came into my marriage. And so, like, you're not the victim here. So when you want to step up and own what you have done, that you came into a marriage that was not done yet, and own it and respect me as the mom of my kids, then maybe we can have a conversation. It shouldn't have to be me being the bigger person. I don't feel like, because I didn't break up a home. I didn't do any of that. So, if I felt like it was genuine and wasn't done out of spite, or petty, then I would totally 100% support it. I would totally 100% support it. But when you don't feel like things are being done for the right reasons and they're just doing it to try to hurt me back, let's be real. Like, they hate our podcast. They're probably our number 1 fans. I mean, I hear about it all the time, girl. I'm serious. But it's real. And I keep telling him, and I'll tell her, if you're listening, like, if you want it to stop doing things to give us reasons to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think that it could, I don't know, maybe even just be him, or maybe not her?
I'm sure, because she has no idea she's got in bed with the devil. I hate to say it.
Maggie.
I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, She has, and she probably has seen glimpses of it. She has to. She's been with him for 2 years. But he's a compulsive liar. He's a compulsive liar. So what he is portraying and what he's portraying me out to be, and I have fed into it, I'm sure some because of my emotions. And it's hard, even though you don't want to be with them, it's hard to walk away. You know this from 20 years, even though I never want to be with that person again. It's just hard to deal with all the firsts, especially when it comes to your kids. It's hard when the only thing left that person has to hurt you with is your kids, and they double down on that.
Oh.
It's tough. So I just told him, I said, you would die. You literally would die if I let her call another man dad. You literally would die.
I wish like for advice for people like going through the situation, like say they went through a divorce and then their ex is getting married like yours and everything, and they have this happen, like in the perfect world, right? They would have been able to have a real conversation with their ex and say like at that point, like this is what I'm comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with my kid calling them that, like, and y'all establish those things ahead of time, but y'all aren't able to communicate in that way. So y'all can't even express prior to what you are comfortable with or what you're not comfortable with.
No, because whenever I expose what I'm uncomfortable with, they press harder on that. You know what I mean? And so it's just like their actions speak louder than their words.
Yeah.
And so it just got into an episode too, like a couple weeks ago where I was, wrong timing, right? He calls to talk to his daughter and I'm screaming at him about an issue and he had her record me. That is his cycle of abuse. He did it to me.
You?
Her. She recorded me.
How do you know?
It got turned into the lawyers, girl. So,
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. So now she's involved in his cycle of abuse.
Yeah.
She has no idea. He's probably just telling her, this is going to be whatever. But that's what he did for 20 years. Every time he got caught doing something terrible, whether it's cheating or porn or gambling or losing money or lying or something detrimental, he always would wait for me to react, whip out his phone, record me, and then try to make me out to be like I'm the toxic or I'm the crazy person. It's reactive abuse. It's the cycle of abuse. So I'm not falling into after that one. The last issue, there is nothing worse to me than that. So I by no means, I almost am at a loss for words, which is really hard for me. Almost at a loss for words there. So I just, like the fact that she is willing to, and to say it was unknowingly, she knows exactly what she's doing. She may not understand it because she hasn't seen that side yet.
Yeah.
But exactly what he's doing to me will be her seat at some point in their relationship because he's not changed. Yeah. He's not changed. And I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for her honestly and genuinely because I know she's going to get exactly what I got at some point.
And that's their hurdle to overcome.
Exactly.
Whenever they do. Do you think that Spencer is at a good age where you could actually have a conversation with her now?
I did.
And then, like...
I have those conversations.
I feel for y'all because I feel for her because now she feels like, she can't be comfortable in the same room, and it's already like pouring into that, you know what I mean? And so how does she feel comfortable? I guess it's just conversations on that young of a level, like very surfacey conversations and making her feel comfortable and knowing that she can talk to you about those things and that you're supporting her, I guess.
Yeah. I have those conversations, but I have those conversations when she comes home.
Yeah,
so I can look at her
to.
straight in the face and not on a 2, 3, 4 minute call that I have just checking on her. And, like when you don't have your kid 50% of the time, like I just want to be like, hey, how's your day? How are things going? Are you good? And that it's just a check-in, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it's pretty repetitive, but it's love you, miss you. See you later.
Yeah.
It's pretty like almost robotic, but it's just my piece of like, okay, just my check mark for the day. Like, okay, I got to see your face, thinking about you.
For me, whenever I had my first son and I was in we've never gotten along His dad, we've never gotten along. We have a very, very toxic relationship. We're very young, like fire and gasoline, like no talking. We couldn't. And so he had to get a phone at like 5 years old. And I didn't want to do that, but we didn't have those stipulations in place where I could check on him and make sure he was okay. So I feel for you on that one because they're so little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you do want to check on them. And not only that, you miss them. You know, you want to have them every single day. You want to see them every single day. So I wanted to be able to check on him. Hey, how are you? Blah, blah. He got a device so young. And I didn't want to do it, but it was just like, and at the time it wasn't like our phones now. It was just a call phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that had made me feel a little bit better. But then it would be like, well, he didn't have it, or, you know, it was just anything you could think of. But I mean, what do you ever feel comfortable with her? Did she tell you that that's something that they wanted her to say?
I don't ask her questions like that.
Yeah, because you don't want them to feel like you're pressing them.
No. Mm-hmm. When she came home, all I said to her is I sat her down and I said, look, the other day when you told mommy that you didn't want me to go to gymnastics because she takes you, I said, that hurt me. Mm-hmm. I said, you know, like, that wasn't kind to say. I'm like, you know, it's okay for both of us to be there. It's okay for you to talk to me in front of your dad or in front of her. I don't ever want you to feel uncomfortable. And if you are being made to feel that way, then you need to let mommy know, you know, because she's 5, you know what I mean? And so it was just kind of short, sweet, but like to the point. And I kind of gave the example of, you know, the situation in our household. And I'm like, you know, sometimes, you know, that's okay. Like, you see how, you know, Elle calls me mommy sometimes or whatever. I always correct her and tell her, no, I'm Miss Megan. You have a mom, because I know what that feels like. And even though I don't even know her mom, like I've met her one time, I know what that feels like and what's being done to me from the other side. And I refuse to do that to somebody else. That's why I co-parented beautifully with Cheris for 20 years, because I always respected her as DJ's mom. I'm just not being respected by a woman and a man, my ex, that, you know, you got together for the wrong reasons. And, you know, like now there's almost like, I hate to say it, but there's hell to pay, because at some point I'll get over it, but I'm just not over it yet.
Yeah.
I would love to say I'm over it, but I'm just not. And when you keep doing things over and over again, clearly to try to hurt me through my kids, and then say like, nobody's trying to hurt you, like that's such a joke. You know, so I don't know, like I understand both sides of it. Like, cause I called my dad, that was my stepdad, you know, dad, but he was also the only dad I had in my life. And I, at one point didn't have a mother either. So I was raised by a single dad from 11 on.
I have a stepdad that I've had since I was 13 or 14. And over the years into my adulthood, I did feel like he was one of my dads, you know? And so I would say I would start introducing him as my dad not in front of my dad, because I didn't want to hurt my dad. Yeah. And I just always wanted to be very considerate to him. Even whenever, I mean, there's been certain times where my stepdad has shown up and my real dad hasn't. And instead of explaining the whole situation, I just say, hey, this is my dad, you know, just because I don't feel like going into, this is my stepdad, you know, anything like that. I'm just like, this is my dad, because he's been a dad to me. And it took me many years to feel that way. I didn't feel that way for a long time because I felt loyalty, you know, and felt bad, you know. But that's just my personality in general. Like I always feel bad. So, but I did over the years with respect and everything that he had did for me over the years. I felt like he earned that title over the years, you know, but it took a long time. And then I started thinking about my kids now, you know, and I'm like, my oldest has never called his stepmom mom. Even though she's amazing and awesome and we get along and everything like that, he's never done that. I guess it's just, I wonder if it's a girl thing.
I don't know.
That's what I wonder too. I wonder if it's a girl thing, like being around another girl saying that, especially with you saying that the little one of yours now is saying it too. So I wonder if it's just a girl thing, like trying to fit in and, you know, being a part of it or act. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
never
know either.
know.
I have no idea.
So that's interesting, but I do think, it would hurt my feelings.
Yeah. I mean, it for sure didn't feel good, but I mean,
And it's a part of it, right?
I know, but it is. It's the first. It's knowing that you've got people that totally dislike you, that are willing to do whatever to hurt you by any means, and then they don't own up to the things that they do. They lie, deny, not me, it wasn't us, it wasn't me, so it's such a joke, like, but I'm going to have to at some point get over my own feelings and get out of my own head, because I think a lot of it stems for me probably because I lost my mom at such a young age, and and I don't think anybody understands that, but I know that her calling her mom or stepmom or them posting pictures together, it doesn't take away from
your relationship,
my relationship with Spencer. And I want what's best for Spencer. And if whatever goes on in their household, as long as it's not being vindictive and for the right reasons, I don't feel that yet. And so at some point, like if I feel like they're doing things for the right reasons, and, all parties involved truly love my daughter, then, that's what's most important. I don't care, I'm going to get over the labels. I think it's just the initial shock of like your little girl saying that to you. And you're just like, ugh, it's like a dagger in the heart.
My little girl, the other day, we were talking about something and she said her dad's girlfriend's name. And I had no reaction. I don't have a reaction. I mean, I never react, I have nothing. I don't care. And then she goes, "Oh, I know you don't like her." And I was like, why would you say that I don't like her? Like, I don't know her.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Well, I know you probably don't like her." And I said, "Maddie, if she's good to you and you don't have anything bad to say, that's all that I want from you." You know what I mean? If she wasn't good to you, and then then I would not like her and I would have an issue. But you don't need to say that I don't like her or not say her name in front of me. You don't ever have to do that. Like, I don't know her.
Go back to the phone and you saying that you didn't want Brylan to have a phone at 5. It's funny. Devin bought Spencer a phone. So his daughter had a phone, and so he came to me and he was like, "Hey, can I buy Spencer a phone?" And at first I was like, "No, she doesn't need a phone. It's fine." And he's like, "Well, they're fighting over the phone." And I'm like, "Well, Spencer has an iPad. It's okay." And we gave the other one, I'll just call her L. We gave her the other iPad, and because I got a new one, and so they both had an iPad. So I kind of wrote down, and it's cute. Like, she'll call. Now she's calling, her aunts and calls my sister, and
she does.
Oh yeah, calls the Linux.
That's cute.
It's cute. Yeah, and then she uses it for games or whatever on YouTube.
Because at 5, can they spell?
She's learning.
So I mean,
she's learning, but like she's learning
on devices.
She's learning to her letters, and so I'll be like, because she wanted to call Linux the other day, and I'm like, okay, well, we sounded out her name, and I said, okay, go down these names in your phone, because I've put like 10 names and numbers in her phone. I'm like, okay, now, but the thing is the phone is not going to go with her when she goes. You know what I mean? So it'll be, I'm too scared she would lose it or whatever. If I'm with her, I can be like, phone check, whatever. So it just is for our house and when we go, but it's super cute.
With her phone.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's like a 17 and iPhone 17 new iPhone.
I don't even know what it is. He went and got it, but it's brand new. It is an iPhone.
She probably got the iPhone 17.
No, she doesn't have a 17, I don't think.
And my daughter's over here with a 13. She'll be so mad when she sees her. She's like, she has one.
I have no idea. I don't know, but it's cute.
So, I mean, I guess it just all depends on the situation and how you handle it.
Yeah, and I did. I handled it, I think, as far as my feelings. Like, I cried it out. I, just had to have a moment. I called you the next day because I was hysterical. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my sister texted me because, like, just randomly checking on me. I'm like, hey, I'm having a bad night. Like, I'll call you tomorrow. And she's like, okay, as long as you're okay. Like, I just like sat in my feelings, you know what I mean? Which I had to be. But the cool thing about it is that, like, Devin came in the bathroom because we were eating dinner when it happened. And we had, his daughter at my house, and I didn't want to cry in front of her. So I excused myself from dinner and went to the bathroom and just sat in my, chair where I do my makeup and just let it rip, and he came in there and I'm like, just go back in there, with your daughter. And he's like, I'm not going to leave you. You're crying, And so it just, it was sweet. Like I've never had a man really like try to take care of me emotionally. And to see him like hold my hand and here, just come lay with me, let me hold you, let me rub your back, and just try to like make me feel better in the moment. I was like, oh, this is like, are you an alien? What is this? But it was nice to see that he was empathetic,
Yeah.
so, and, just, told me how much he loved me and that it was going to be okay. And he also didn't agree with the situation. And we've talked about it since. And he was like, look, like, I'm not going to let Spencer call me dad because I feel like her dad is in the picture and he's trying to do a good job.
Yeah.
And even though he may not respect you, like he goes, I'm going to do the right thing because that's who I am. And if he chooses not to do the right thing, he goes, at some point he's going to pay for that. Like at some point that's going to catch up to him. He was like, but I'm going to do the right thing. He was like, I'm just Mr. Devon to her, like he goes, I'm going to love her like she's my own and treat her like she's my own. But he goes, I don't think that I would ever let her call me dad with him in the picture. He was like, because I wouldn't want that for my daughter either.
I think those are great conversations to have. And Gabriel's had those conversations with my kids too. Like anytime we're having to have a serious talk with them or if they're having a bad day or anything, it's like, hey, like, I'm not your dad, but I love you and I'm here for you. And I will treat you just like my own. And
your household you've got an absentee father, you know what I mean? Like, and Gabe is stepping up. And at some point, just like Boyce has been for you in those moments and proved himself, like Gabe has proved himself to your kids. And at some point, I think they probably would call Gabe dad, to be honest.
So many times I'll come home and he'll have to catch me up on them and they'll be like, well, Kaysen texted me from school today and needed, this or that. And I ran up there and I did this and that. And I'm like, he didn't even call me. What? And he's like, yeah, it's handled. It's done. Like he forgot his basketball shoes again, or he did this or he did that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I
know, but
it does make me feel good that they know they have somebody that is that,
role
filling that role that they can depend on and know that he will be there if they need anything, you know what I mean? And I think that's just kind of, my situation as I was gotten older and everything like that. I was like, okay, who helped me set up my first bank account and who helped me get my first loan for my car and who, took me out and let me work with them to make money if I wanted a new pair of, expensive shoes or something like that. Like that was the person that did that to me. So naturally, as I got older, that just came flowing out of my mouth. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it was like earned.
Right.
I think. Yeah, it was definitely earned.
Yeah.
For sure. So do you think it's okay, Megan? Do you think it's okay for your ex's new spouse? Do you think it's okay for our children to call them mom or dad?
I think that if it's in the best interest of my daughter or in the best interest of any kid, then have at it. But if it's not in the best interest and you're just doing it to try to get at me, to hurt me, then you probably should reevaluate your actions.
Yeah,
so as long as it's good with, done with good intention, then,
with the best interest.
Right. With the best interest of my daughter. I know my son would probably never call her mom, but and maybe it is just a girl versus a boy thing.
Yeah, when I was thinking about that on the way here, I was like, I wonder if that is like a girl version versus, but I, and also thinking back, like my mom has been with my stepdad since my youngest sister was only 4 or 5, same as yours, and she never called him that either. I mean, she's saying when we got older, introduce him as, this is my dad or whatever, but never like as a young kid.
I think it just depends on your situation. For me, when that's all I had and that's all I knew, that was my dad.
I would agree.
You know what I mean? So I think it just depends on your situation.
Yeah, I agree. Situation. And then if you could have the conversation beforehand, like, hey, like I'm not comfortable with that. Like, don't be saying that. Or she has that or blah, 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 blah. But in some cases, That's not a luxury.
Nah.
That is a luxury.
No.
You know, and some people do get a divorce and they co-parent so well and they get along and they understand the best interest and all that. And I applaud them. You know what I mean? It is rare, but I do see it sometimes. And they remain friends. And I'm like, how the heck?
I'm friends with Cheris.
You and Cheris were really good friends.
Yeah.
are still very good friends. Yeah.
So I at least got her and DJ out of that situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Ding, ding. So,
all right. Well,
how do you move forward? I think that you did all the steps that you can do, which is try to have a conversation with the other person.
You just have to learn to, well, there's not going to be a conversation with her. You know what I mean? Like I had a conversation with him, but it was just, this long text of BS. And so it's just like, this is a joke.
Did he apologize?
No, girl, please.
No.
No, of course he's not, And so it's like, you can only believe about half of what's written. So it's like.
But he let you know that he wasn't pushing that.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Supposedly. Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
So let us know what you think.
I'm sorry that happened, Meg.
Yeah, it's all right. Let us know what you think. Is that a yay or a nay to calling mom or dad?
Has that ever happened to you guys? Like, is that something that you would be okay with? Is it something that would hurt your feelings? Like, I would probably be a little stunned and it would break my heart, a little bit, especially with my daughter.
Yeah.
Because the mom and daughter relationship is just like, it would probably hurt me, any of them, actually.
Right. Mm-hmm. Hit us on all our socials at Got Our Back Podcast. I'm Meg's Unfiltered.
Inspired by Carrie. Bye.
Bye.